Hello, my lovely audience, and as you can see, we are doing part 2 of What If Deku was Big Boss's kid, aka the original Solid Snake. And if you've never played the games, I swear to God, go play the games. They're amazing. Anywho, so, where we last left off was after the physical hole exam that Aizawa gives. So, yeah. It is now the hero versus villains. And now, Deku's costume is somewhat like this, actually. It's basically just this. And yeah, he's wearing this, and when he comes out, he's like, everybody's just like weirded out by this because they're seeing someone wear like military fatigues almost, and they're just weirded out by this. They've never seen anything like this. And then comes out John. Now, as you know, he is Raiden's son. Now, John comes out with a specialized, suit, really, that when he uses his quirk, he kind of has like a timer for how long he can use it. Now, there is something fun about this. The suit pumps in to his body through like the chest area, I would say, and it's like a Kickstarter, like basically wakes him up really, so he can use his quirk again, and he can only do it 5 times. Now, I'm going to change up the teams. And the teams, seeing how everyone's still here, but there is like no Mignetta, I would say that John and Deku are going to be teamed up. And who do you think they're going to be on what team? They're going to be on the villains team. And who's going to be facing them is going to be Bakugo and Ida. Now, I'm going to clear up some things real quick and explain the hero suit afterwards. Now, Deku and Bakugo, yeah, they know each other, but it wasn't really like they knew each other at 5 until he left. Like 3 or 4. And Deku kind of remembers this. Like, they both kind of have a faint idea of who each other are. And that's it. Like, it's like old friends meeting up, really. And that's all it is. Like, childhood friends, really. So, yeah. Deku, now, his hero suit. Deku's hero suit is, he's got the Wu pistol, because it's signature in Metal Gear. And, it's pretty much a really nice pistol. Besides, it looks more like a real gun. Now, he's got the Wu pistol because he's got no long range, and he specifically asked for something like that. And he also came up with ideas for it. Besides, he kind of likes his dad's weapons a little too much. So he also has a gun, and like a realistic looking gun, but it's actually a water gun. And the one I'm getting this is from Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. There was a water gun in that game, and in the game you have unlimited water, so weirdly enough it works. And you'll see how I'm going to use this, but yeah, it's kind of like a strong water gun actually. Shoots a lot of water out. And it's going to be his second weapon. And it looks like a real gun, too. But it shoots water out. Now, Deku will be wearing the bandana, and everyone pretty much just thinks he looks dope. Like, really cool. Now, Deku does have a knife. He does have a knife, and it's like an electric knife. And it is going to be used for, like, combat and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a family heirloom almost. Well, no, I would say he's pretty much made it. Yeah, he's made the knife. Because he specializes in close quarters combat. I would say he's S plus when it comes down to close quarters combat. He kind of excels at it and is like surpassing his father, who is Big Boss. And then we got this. We got John, Raiden's kid. He's got pretty much a really interesting suit. Like, how do I explain it? Like, it's almost like Raiden's suit, like his cyborg body, just more like Metal Gear Solid 4's Solid Snake. It's kind of like that suit. And now Deku, here's the fun part. He isn't really worried about what's going to happen. In fact, he's actually really ready for this. He's ready for this whole thing to happen. So, when it starts, when it's basically, this is the game plan. Deku's going to be brokenly overpowered. Ninja. Yeah. Oh, and also I'm going to add this to his gear. He's got a cardboard box. It's not Metal Gear without a cardboard box, let's be honest. Now, yeah, he's got the cardboard box. So, yeah. Anyways, when it starts, we're going to take it from Bakugo's perspective and Ida's. So, Bakugo and Ida, they go in, and what they see is the lights are pretty much completely gone. Like, they're all out. The power's out, everything. Oh, and I'm going to put this. Bakugo has night vision. He has, like, one of those, he has, I think, the eye, whatever, I can't remember what it's called. Put it down in the comments if you know what it's called, because I can't remember. I'm sorry. And John has it with his like an interface as well. So the two they can see in the dark, but the others can't. Yeah, I would say like Deku's got like thermal vision on, and same goes for John. And they're just like waiting. Now, Deku, he's prepared. He's really prepared. He's waiting for them. He's waiting for them in the bomb room. And what ends up happening is this. John, he's looking for them. He's straight up looking for them. Now, Bakugo, Ida, they are going through this, and Bakugo has to continuously throw explosions to keep the light up, but it's also giving away their position. And Ida is like kind of useless here. So when they get to the bomb room, which was lucky they didn't run into John, the light, there's only one light, and it's on the bomb. So they think it's easy. Until Ida gets captured by Deku. And Bakugo completely didn't see this coming. Like, he turns around, he's looking for him, he's throwing explosions. And he just thinks, you know what, I'm going to go for the bomb. And that's when he gets shot in the back by a dart. And Bakugo, just feeling like, what was that? He charges into the darkness like an idiot he is. And instantly, you hear, which is the water gun. And then Deku says, within the darkness, you're pretty good. Well, no, he says, cool off. Anywho, but yeah, then what ends up happening is this. Deku subdues both of them. And the cameras, they do have night vision, but it's not as high grade as theirs. And this whole time, the lights were kind of like hijacked. Deku hijacked this, he went to this circuit breaker, I think it is, yeah. And he just like turned off all the lights. Pretty impressive, huh? Well, yeah, that's basically what he did. Now, here's what happens next. Basically, everyone is terrified by them. Now, the results are pretty much the same, just Deku won as a villain. The same thing would have happened if he was Oh, by the way, what is kind of fun, the kind of thing about why they kind of took for so long to get to the bottom room was because they had to run into boxes. There was boxes all over the place. Yeah. Now we're going to go to the USJ. Now, the whole ride through, Deku is being talked to by Kirishima, and he's with John. They're just like in like a really nice talk about how like they're so cool, how they become so fit, and what is it that Deku trains in, and who taught them, and is there a way for them to be taught some of this? And the two of them explain that their fathers are both ex-military, spec ops to be exact, and this is where things get interesting. They ask which country were they from, because Deku does look American in a sense. He does look a little American. He has a few American features. Mainly, it's his. I would say it's like his. I would say it's like his physique almost, like his body wise and how he reacts almost. He's got like kind of an American personality. And he explains it's his dad's from America. I believe that's correct. And then John explains where his dad's from, which I can't remember where it's from. I'm thinking Sweden, but I know that's not right. But yeah, they're all like shocked that these two were like this highly combated, and they know about like the history of war and what happened like a little bit like past their time, I guess, like before their time. Sorry, not past, before their time. And they know that there was a lot of crazy stuff, like cyborg ninja stuff, and stuff that was like still like still classified, and they're just like really all amazed by this. So they're like just like, oh my god, these guys gotta be like having like spy dads. And they're just thinking like ex-military, they gotta be like some kind of like secret amazing organization. Now, I'm also gonna say this real quick. John's dad, Raiden, he is a hero, and he is in Japan. Now, his hero ranking he is number 3. He's 3rd. Actually, no, I wouldn't say he's 3rd. I'd say he's number 5. Mainly because he's actually a cyborg, and they don't know if they can classify that's a quirk or not. But yeah, I guess they classify it as a quirk because it's government-wise, it's classified as a quirk. That's where they're putting it. And yeah, so they know about John's dad, but they don't know anything about Deku's dad. And this is like something that's like a conspiracy for them. They're like, what if he's like some kind of government spy or something? It's like really funny. And that's like going on through the whole ride. So yeah, Deku, he is just enjoying himself with this. He's just laughing by what he's hearing in the back. So yeah, that's what happens. Now, I'm also going to give Deku something awesome, and that's going to be a rifle. It's going to be I would say it's like an M16, and it's got like rubber bullets. It's all of its ammunition is rubber bullets. So yeah, he got that kind of specially made after the Heroes versus Villains, and it was kind of cool because he got that made in like such quick time. Like, he knows how to disassemble and reassemble guns. That's how good Deku is. And what ends up happening is, once they get to the USJ, and they get that whole talk about powers and stuff. Now, I can't remember the person that said it. I was thinking 0 something. I can't remember sorry, I haven't watched the anime in a while. I'm reading My Hero Academia Vigilantes. If you don't know what it is, go read it. It's really good. I'm actually surprised by how good it was. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. So, yeah, she says to Deku, why do you have all this weaponry? And Deku explains his quirk and how he's trained around all this kind of weaponry and he knows how to use it. And all of the rounds are just like rubber bullets and stuff like that. And she's like asking you, like, did you buy it from somewhere? And Deku just explains he made it, and within like a few hours too. And this like shocks most of the class, because not only that is he like incredibly skilled in hand-to-hand combat and all kinds of stuff like that, but he is a master almost in weaponry and stuff like that, and just outright ridiculously powerful. So yeah, they realize that Deku is like something else in the world. And that's when the villains attack. The portal opens and Deku is the first to see it happen. Like, as soon as the lights go out, he takes out his gun. He takes out the assault rifle. And Bakugo is just like, what are you gonna do? Shoot us all? Like, just saying some like things like, you're a villain, you're with them when they come out. Well, I wouldn't say that yet, but when the villains come out and they realize that this isn't a drill, Deku and John rush in right behind Aizawa. And they're saying, look out, Aizawa. Well, Bakugo's saying, look out, Aizawa. There's fucking villains. They're gonna shoot you. And basically Aizawa gets like straight up just like he's ignoring this because he knows who's behind them. He knows it's John and Deku. And when they get down there, Deku quickly starts taking down all villains that come his way. He shoots them one bullet per each. Well, one round per each. And he sometimes takes 3 or 5. And, well, for bigger targets. And he's taking them out like crazy fast. And with pure skill and almost like he's a complete, like, on another level. And John, he's fighting alongside Aizawa, and Deku, he's just providing coverage of range. Now, mind you, he's not a specialty in range combat. He's actually a specialty in close quarters. So this is when a villain comes up to Deku and tries to take him out, but Deku quickly throws the assault rifle down and quickly grabs the guy's arm and quickly dislocates it. And then basically goes down on a beatdown on this guy. And this guy's quirk is hardening. It's a type of hardening quirk. And what the quirk basically allows him to do, it allows him to almost like harden his skin like Kirishima, but it hardens his skin to make it like a porcupine almost, like it's pointing towards whoever he points at. And that's kind of like what's going on. Sorry about all the notifications. I'm really sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, but that's like, it's like really terrifying because the other villains are seeing this and they're like, what just happened? And they're realizing that Deku is more than what he seems. They're thinking, most of the villains are thinking, like Kirigiri and Tomura, they're thinking, plus all the villains, they're thinking, oh crap, there's more than 2 heroes here. Because Raiden's son, John, John is like fighting these villains off like intensively. Now, just because the power is out and they can't contact for help because of some jamming, Deku has something better. Now, I didn't mention this, but I'm retconning. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm adding to his gear. I'm really sorry. But I'm going to add this because of only one reason. Because I want to bring in Big Boss. And what he has is a small little, well, he has a radio, yeah, and he sets it to a signal where he'd only set it to if he needed help from his dad. So this goes on for like 10 minutes, and the signal reaches Big Boss. And now, what ends up happening is, Boss, he's got a helicopter. He's got all the means of getting around. So, when he gets this signal, he suits up. Because he knows whatever he's facing is out of his league. And Deku can't last for long. He knows this. So, when Tomura, aka the Decay Hands, instructs the Nomu to go for Deku and everyone, and Aizawa quickly steps in front of them and quickly gets knocked out. Like, he gets knocked around by the Nomu. And he tried everything. But it's almost like the same thing in the anime. But Deku, he starts using the assault rifle that he threw down and shoots all the ammunition he can into the body, the head, everything. And it's not even working. Then that's when the ceiling, a huge explosion happens, hitting it, and the whole ceiling, one part of it, down the middle, it breaks, crushing down into, I would say, the yacht area. Now, Kirigiri didn't even get to transport anyone, so the students are still there. But it's mainly because they're getting overrun, and the villains are getting taken out a lot faster, so it wouldn't be that smart. So when it happens, this is when Boss rappels down. Actually, just parachutes down. And that's when Deku says, "Dad." And that's when the class gets shocked. Now, I know this is weird, but let's be honest, Boss isn't really good at getting around. And right when Boss gets there is around when All Might gets there. And the heroes start coming, actually. And when All Might gets there, Deku, he simply waves his dad down. And when his dad touches down, he brings Deku more ammunition. And it's basically just rubber rounds. And the two of them are fighting villains, hand-to-hand combat. And all the while, you get to see Big Boss wearing what was Solid Snake's muscle suit in the 4th game. And smoking a nice cigar while kicking ass. And this is when Kirigiri notices something. You see, he's been around for a while, and he knows connections. He knows that bandana that Big Boss is wearing. He knows that cigar. He knows the eye patch. He knows that suit, the fighting style. And when he sees Big Boss's face, he realizes it all. He realizes that man is much, much more dangerous than All Might, than All For One. And All For One even knows who Big Boss is. He is terrified of Big Boss. And this is when Kirigiri has Tomura quickly escaped. They quickly escape because even Big Boss knows who All For One is, but he doesn't mention it. Because that's a personal thing. He doesn't mention it because he doesn't want Deku to go after him and prove something. Now, Tomura's asking, he's pissed. He's why did you send me back? And Kirigiri explains everything to Tomura. But that's when they get back. And they left the Nomu. They did not care for it. They wanted their lives. And what ends up happening is the whole time Deku, Big Boss, All Might comes in, he just sees some badass coming in, kicking ass, and not even just killing him, and just taking everyone out quickly with his hand-to-hand combat skills and Deku doing it right beside him. He realizes that this man somehow got here first, and somehow was able to basically be here for his son, because the personality is almost the same when they fight. And that's when freaking that's when basically Boss, he goes up to that Nomu, and knowing how to fight something like this, he quickly he takes out his gun, like is an actual gun with live ammunition, and shoots it into the head. Now, the ammunition is a piercing round. It breaks the gun when he fires it. And it quickly goes through the Nomu's head, and it explodes. It's like one of those bullets from Luke Cage. And, oh my god. When it hits him, when it hits that Nomu, the brains go everywhere, everything's just exploded, and it's just gory. Then, that's when Boss basically goes up to Deku and says, I remember when I used to wear something like that, and hell, you're pretty good, as he gives his son a good hug. And that's when he basically sits down and injects himself in the neck with some daily medicine. Basically, it's like an anti-aging stuff. It's stuff that keeps him going. And that's how he's been alive all this time. So, yeah. He's been alive through anti-aging meds and stuff that's like experimental almost. He's got a few artificial organs in some ways too, but he's like still rocking it. In fact, he looks a lot like Solid Snake, I would say, in Metal Gear Solid 4. That's what he kind of looks like. And yeah, he just looks good for his age. And that's when, now if you're asking how he was able to have, how he's able to get Inko to conceive Deku, well, I think any government spy that is at his caliber, and when they had clones, I think they would have his DNA, and they could refine it into a point where, well, let's see here. Let's say the governments, like a lot of governments, owed him a favor. And they kind of just gave Inko, Deku and, sorry, not Deku, but they gave Boss a chance for a family. And they gave it to him so easily. Because they know what he would do if he didn't get his way. And they did not want that. Like, we're talking, this man created a nuke, okay? And I don't think anyone would want that as an enemy. Like, no one wants someone like that as an enemy. So, yeah. Deku, that's when the class comes down and they start, looking at Deku's dad, who everyone just feels like is some kind of, complete badass or something. Some kind of, insanely strong person. And I'm gonna say this first, before getting, ideas. Deku, he's really enjoying his time with his dad, because he doesn't get to see his dad unless he's at home training with him. And when he basically gave him that hug, it was a long time since he got a hug from his dad. So it's been since the entrance exam, I would say, that he was a good luck thing, but it wasn't really meaning anything really. And yeah, this was actually an actual thing, him saying, "Oh, glad you're okay," all that, and it's something else right there. Deku is basically more powerful than Solid Snake, I would say. Now, I know that they're going to think, oh, it's a cloning process for Deku. No, they just created, well, they didn't create, but, like, they took his, old samples, I would say, old DNA samples, if you catch my drift. I'm not going to say it because demonetization is probably a thing that's going to happen to me sometime. I don't want it to happen, like, sooner than later. So I want you guys to have this part, too. So, yeah. Deku, he is... oh, boy. He is ready, pretty much. What ends up happening is this. Deku enjoys his time with his dad. And, oh boy, his dad pretty much, after having all the heroes come and explaining he just came here for his son and that's it, and after giving Nezu a good compensation for getting the repairs done and keeping this whole thing secret and having everyone's mouth shut, they realize that Deku's dad is someone to be feared. Not someone you should mess with, not someone you should even dare trifle with. And this is where they explain that the dorm system to Big Boss first, and he says, no matter what, my son's tough, and he always needs protection. He can't face the world like me. I don't care as long as he's safe. Basically, that speech. Basically, I don't care as long as he's safe. And that is where I'm going to have to end it. I'm sorry, but it's been a long video, and I got to go to the bathroom. I also need to sleep. As you can see, it is 5 in the morning. And yeah. So I hope you all have a good day and a good night. Alright? Have a good one. Peace!